everyone, Sheik here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the aerial bot team that combines into Superion, or more accurately, I'll just be pretty much reviewing Superion while doing just a quick group shot of them in their robot and vehicle modes. There is Air Raid. He looks pretty cool. I think he's my favorite of the bunch, at least favorite of the smaller ones, of the deluxe ones. And then Slingshot, probably my least favorite, at least head sculpt wise. Silverbolt, the leader, who is just because he's larger, and the leader, I guess, is just going to be kind of cooler by default. Fireflight, who's probably my second favorite of the smaller guys. I think his face head sculpt looks amazing, and I just like all the other details on his chest and all that. And I think his color scheme in his vehicle mode is also really cool. And the most recent one, Skydive. He is probably my second to least favorite. Not saying that I don't like him, just if I have to rank them, he's probably number 4 out of the 5. This thing is the big thing that I left out of the Silverbolt review because it's like it makes more sense for the Superion review, but it is an excuse for a little base mode, and it is, I mean, it's not even really base, it's more of just like a battle platform / shield. It's just like a, I don't know, gunnery station with a unusually small gun, but it is something that you can do. But it's just to give more than just a weird extension for jet mode and combiner parts. I mean, I don't think I would have even been super upset if they had just done it, just the combiner parts without any, alt mode stuff. But hey, it's trying to make stuff includes, what's it called? Not having extra pieces that don't do anything in any other configuration. But I mean, it just has the waist part tab in right there, pretty much, and then stays on, I guess, decent enough as long as you have it just sitting down. This, of course, is the waist portion. And let's see, to get it back into the jet configuration, flip these back out. And then, what's it? How did it go? That's another reason why I don't like this thing, because it's like, it's not that it's really hard to do, it's just annoying trying to remember exactly where everything went. If I remember right, it's something like this, and then I think that this tabs in, there we are, like that, and then this just clips down, and then this this folds up, and goes on. This little peg goes right in that hole, and it just kind of just sits up there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And just to show off how ridiculous and slightly cool this looks, here it is, Silverbolt combined with the combiner parts, and it looks like a giant shuttle of some kind with an Earth jet cockpit. So it is a bit weird, but it's also kind of cool at the same time. And here they are all together in their vehicle modes. And even though they share, well, the arms share a mold, sort of, and the legs share a mold, sort of, there's enough distinction between them. So it's not like Transformers Energon, where it's just 3 different molds with, well, 1 for the body and then 2 for the arms and legs, but they were identical, just colors changed. So it's a step up from that. And also, I'm pretty sure that's kind of how the original toys were, just slightly different. And this one sits a little bit lower to the ground. Fireflight sits a bit lower to the ground, has The wings lowered down. The intakes are a little bit different on the front. This guy, Slingshot, sits a bit higher. The intakes are definitely different, and I do like the look of this jet mode better than Fireflight's. But I have to say, look-wise in jet mode, I think, oh man, they all look pretty decent, but I'd have to say my favorite's probably Skydive. I would say Silverbolt, but the big thing that he has going against him is the feet that are just right here on the sides. Like, if it wasn't for that, I think this would be my favorite, because I still think, don't get me wrong, I still think Silverbolt is really cool, but that's how they all look in their jet modes. Here we have Superion in all of his glory. He is so big. He is, well, so big that I have to move my camera significantly far enough back to get him fully in the shot. But man, he is awesome looking from the front anyway. I will say that for whatever reason, Slingshot, oh no, Air Raid's, yeah, Slingshot's up here. Air Raid's panel on the leg doesn't seem to be fully pressed in, even with him fully in there. So maybe one of the springs isn't quite strong enough or something, but it doesn't look too noticeable, at least from this distance. Skydive seems to be in there pretty well. And then I don't know if this is exactly how the wings are technically supposed to be, but I'd say it looks a lot better than this. So I'm going to keep it like that, even if it's technically supposed to be the other way, as I think it looks cool, like, I don't know, forearm armor. So, if that isn't correct and anyone wants to throw a hissy fit over it, well, I don't care, because it looks better in my personal opinion. The gun, it's okay, I guess. It's not the worst I've seen for a combiner, but it could be better. It's the length is good. The back part right here looks good. It's just, well, it's very skinny, a very skinny, scrawny gun, but it does work as a gun. I will say the arms do a very good job of making it feel like the jets aren't just tacked on to arms. Or to pre-formed arms. It looks almost, I mean, obviously up here it's a little more obvious that that is not part of the jet, but it doesn't stand out that much. The only area where that becomes more evident is the legs, because it just looks like the back of the leg, instead of being here, they're back here. But given all the engineering that would have to be done to make it look really good and have them combine like that, that would be closer to Combiner Wars. And don't get me wrong, Combiner Wars are pretty cool. Although I never had Superion. I only had Bruticus from Combiner Wars. Speaking of which, I'm so excited about the Bruticus that they're doing. Although only Vortex is out so far. But oh man, I'm excited about that set. And, well, I'm excited about any Combiner set because I love Combiners. Anyway, I haven't looked into it yet. If it's not too expensive, I'll probably see about getting some upgrade kits, like for like the hands at least. But I mean, I really don't see a huge need to upgrade Superion because I mean, he just looks so clean. Like even the back right here, it just looks so nice. Like it's like I feel like they learned a bit from when they were doing Menasor, and I think they well, did this one better. Although obviously you can still kind of see the bits that were from Menasor just a little bit that were retooled, but it's not the end of the world. And besides, most of my gauge is going to be up here, not really down there. Especially if you have a bunch of other figures around the base. Articulation, and I guess we can now. That is one thing that does irk me just a little bit for whatever reason. Oh, there we are. Okay, I guess I just didn't have it pushed all the way down, but the head wasn't wanting to quite latch into place. But oh man, I do love Superion's head sculpt. It looks so cool. I think my favorites are Bruticus's and Superion's and maybe Computron, but Devastator's cool, I guess, but and Menasor is well menacing, but I just really don't like the head sculpt there terribly much, but maybe it's because I like face plates and all that. Anyway, head is on a ball joint. You can look down surprisingly far, which is good considering that, you know, he's big and towers almost over everyone, so you'd have to look down a lot, I would imagine. Head can do a full 360. Can get a little bit of wibbly wobbly. Arms can go out that far. Let's see if this one can also do it and not fall down. Now that is one downside to the combiner joints, is that they generally have to be pretty hefty to not just droop over time. And it would seem that the swivel right here is not on a ratchet, it's just a friction, as to why this one moved a little bit, although this one feels a little bit looser but not terribly so. Can do a full 360 like that. You do get about 90 bend at the elbow. There is wrist rotation, and then you can also bend it a bit, but that's also kind of more just for transformation. Let's see, let's kick these flaps forward. Legs can go forward that far on a somewhat soft ratchet. Back that far, and there's not too much kibble on the back, so there's nothing really impeding it. Most of the kibble is on the legs right there. Thigh rotation. Even with the kibble, you get just a little under 90-degree bend at the knee. And then you get a decent amount of ankle tiltage. Ooh, I'm so glad I held out on getting like a third-party Superion or the Combiner Wars Superion or something like that, because this guy, to me, I know he has some shortcomings, but he is like the perfect balance between complexity and playability, and I think this guy pulls it off really, really well. And for comparison, although it might not be the fairest comparison given that he has upgrade kits, but Menasor, Legacy Menasor, because he has thigh extensions and a little bit of platform feet, because, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Because, well, you know, people think combiners should be taller. Maybe I should have not done that, because now Menasor seems a little too big when compared to Superion. But then again, Decepticons generally tend to be a little bit smaller, or not smaller, larger than Autobots. But if I find an upgrade kit that I like enough for Superion, it might have some extensions for either the legs or the feet. There we are. And since and I probably wouldn't care too much about doing that, because I doubt I'm really gonna care about the storage extra long Concorde looking more like a Cybertronian space shuttle configuration. I'll probably just leave the combined parts just, well, you know, for combination. But I think they once we get all of the once they get more of the combiners done, it's just going to be so much fun to have them all out together. I will say that I hope that they do some more of the Autobot combiner team soon, because right now we have Menasor, we have Devastator, which I'm very eager about reviewing that guy, and just messing around with them in general. But we have Menasor, Devastator, and they're currently working on Bruticus. So now, don't get me wrong, I like the Decepticon combiners, but I mean, there's still Defensor, Computron, and there's probably at least another Autobot combiner team that I'm just not remembering off the top of my head. But oh man, and someday I want to get a Predaking. I don't know if they're going to do a mainline one. I did see one for pre-order a while back that was like, I think it's like a masterpiece version, but it was like so expensive, but it looks so cool. But I don't know how well it would have scaled with the Legacy line and I guess Age of the Primes. But oh man, these guys do look stunning together. If I had thought, with hindsight, I might have kept all the original pieces, and then I could have maybe swapped them back out just to make him just a little bit shorter. But hey, it is what it is, and I just think that this is just so awesome, and I've been blathering on long enough. So that's about it for Transformers Age of the Primes Superion. I am so glad I have this guy, and hope you guys have enjoyed the journey along with me. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.